Thank you.
Yep, that's it.
Bill O'Reilly. Oh, look how cute we all are. And that's not like my permanent graphic. We're gonna figure this shit out as we go.
Yep. I should just button the top button, Cholo style.
All right. So, Joe, are you going to turn on our mics?
I think he's doing it now.
By the way, I can hear my mic in my headphones.
Yep,
You're live. Your colors look freaking amazing on the computer.
You like the pink?
It's a pink, but like dark pink.
All pink.
I don't even know what to call it.
All pink or pink. It's Kelly Mano pink.
But it looks freaking.
Hi.
There you go.
So I just need people on Instagram to tell me that the YouTube is working, and then we're going to switch over.
The YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
So who are these people in this chat? Are those people on my Instagram or on YouTube?
The people in chat.
Huh?
The people in chat should be from YouTube.
Okay.
It says there's 74 people viewing right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, there's way more on Instagram, so we're going to give them a few minutes to jump over.
Yeah.
And then right when we're done, we're going to upload this, and it'll be... Okay, everybody says it's working, so we are going to flip over to YouTube, and we are going to start the show in about like 60 seconds.
Awesome.
All right, and Pro Joe, you're recording it and everything. So, okay, is there anything else really stupid I haven't thought of? Because I'm really good at not doing basic shit. Okay, everyone says it's working. You don't know how to jump over, so just go to YouTube and look up the Kelly Mano Show or Kelly Mano. All right.
Oh, sweet. Now I'm caught up on the chat. I was wondering why I was like 8 minutes behind.
Oh, okay. Are you caught up now?
Yeah, I had to scroll down.
Okay. So I am going to go over to YouTube. I can see your comments over there, so you guys can comment over there.
Cool. Can you guys hear me? It says I'm muted.
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I think that little prompt just comes up sometimes.
Yeah. I think that's probably the laptop mic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I should probably put my gum away so I don't chomp on it.
Yeah.
I mean, why start now?
Shut up.
Don't fix what wasn't broken.
Don't fix what wasn't broken. Okay. Discard video. What time is it? Let's try really hard to not go over an hour. I feel like we could sit here for.
Have you
10
met us?
I know.
Oh.
Okay, everybody can hear us, so we are back. This is the Kelly Mano Show. It has been 1,074 days since we have been in a room together doing a show. I am Kelly Mano. If you guys want to introduce yourselves to the audience that already knows you.
I'm Hoss.
That's all? Just Hoss?
Yeah, I mean, or Chris, or whatever you want to call me. I've got a million names and a million jobs. So.
Yep. Why don't you tell people a little bit about your job?
Which one? So the main one is I'm still working for a company called Indigoot, which manages a ton of bands like Shinedown, Hailstorm, Highly Suspect, Theory of a Dead Man, basically every rock band that The Point plays.
Pretty much.
And then if you walk down the hall from The Point about 4 doors, you will find the KC 95 studios.
Yep.
And I'm doing mornings at KC 95 now.
Which is awesome.
With my buddy AD.
That's awesome. And then Stephanie, say hello to the world.
Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm Stephanie, producer Stephanie. I'm the only one in this room who has never had anything to do with radio.
No entertainment,
you're not missing
background, nothing. So Hoss and I met in 1998, I think, or 99.
No, I think it was 97.
97? Yes, it was 97. So I was like first year college, working at 105.7 The Point as an intern. Hoss was an intern too. So we did our intern summer together and we became friends. And then we both variously worked in and out of radio over the last 20 years. I branched off and did some other things because I wanted to stay home with my kids. So I ran a photography and videography company for a while. Hoss has been doing the music stuff. And then I knew that I wanted to start a podcast. This was back in 2015 was when we started it.
God, was that really how long ago it was?
Yes, wow. I didn't believe it. I had to go back and look at the shows and make sure I was right. I started the show in 2015 and I tried a couple of different co-hosts and almost immediately Hoss was in my top like 2 or 3 that I wanted. And then once I had one show back with him, I was like, yeah, this is who I belong with. And then Stephanie, I've known for 10 years now, 12,
more than that.
something like that.
At least 20, I want to say.
Wow.
It's been at least since you were doing photography. Because
Yeah.
I met you doing photography.
You went to Miami. Wait, you went to Miami with me when I was pregnant with Lucy and she is 16.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Lucy is 16.
Lucy is 16.
And it was before that. We knew each other for a long time before.
Yeah.
Old.
And so I had Stephanie come on the show because I just needed somebody to like help me check email and stay on top of stuff. But she always brought in a great, usually a different angle of things. Not always. I mean,
well, I keep you out of jail.
You keep me out of jail.
True.
Yep. The thing that was so successful about this show is how authentic everybody was. We weren't afraid to fight about things, but we weren't going to fake fight about things. If we got like, it was just everybody said their own piece, and we all have different views when it comes to stuff, and it works beautifully. And people always ask me, what is the show about? What's the podcast about? And
everything
and nothing.
I mean, we had some pretty kick-ass guests.
Yeah,
we did. So that's what I want to do is today I want to take a little walk down memory lane because I think some of these shows I want to redo and recreate. I mean, like there's no reason we can't interview another hooker. Like that was brilliant.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So we had a segment where we literally would find somebody with a really interesting job or lifestyle. We would interview them, and we did a mortician, we did a stripper, we did a swingers.
Yes,
we did.
Didn't we do with somebody that worked in the sewer?
Yeah, sewer company. Cool. We did. And then finally, like my ultimate target, remember when we wanted the drag queens and they didn't show up and I was going to kick their asses? Yes. That's still the only guest that ever stood me up were the drag queen.
Right. We even got the escort to show up after the third try.
The hooker. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say hooker. I mean,
you
escort.
can. You can say whatever.
Are you still friends with her?
I am. She has a drastically different life now.
Okay.
She is, I think, married. Definitely has a kid and living with a guy.
Does she have any hooker friends that could come on?
I don't. You know what's funny is we talked about that after we had done the show. We went out to dinner, and she's like, we really don't have a network. Like we don't help each other out. It's
which is crazy.
It's very cutthroat.
Yeah.
I mean,
a little cutthroat in the escort business there.
So we had her on and we just asked her a lot of real questions. It wasn't even like sexual questions.
No.
It was more like, how many hours a day do you work? How do you decide where you're going to work? I mean, we did get in a little bit of like, what's the weirdest thing that somebody's asked you to do?
I will never forget that answer.
The mayonnaise?
Yep. Yep. It's burned into my brain.
You want to tell everybody what it was?
She said that she had some guy who would hire her to come over
and over,
sit him in a chair and just feed him mayonnaise. You're going to eat this. And I don't want to eat it. You're going to eat this. I was like, did you have to sleep with him? She's like, nope.
And he wanted her to cuss at him and be mean because the thing was he hated mayonnaise.
Didn't even have to get naked.
No. She got paid.
I tell you what, that stuff is not always about
I'll do that.
If
that's your thing, holla at your boy. I will come feed you mayonnaise. For a cost.
Oh God. And then so we did a lot of the interviews. I would love to do those again. So we're gonna definitely get on that.
If you got a weird job.
If you got a weird job, holler at us.
Yeah.
We really, really, really liked messing with Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
like our top thing.
Well, we came up with this theory that Hawes and I decided that like you could do anything in Walmart and they don't give a shit.
Nope. People who live there have just given up on life.
Nobody there.
Clock in, get money, clock out. That's it.
Nobody there gets paid enough to care what you do. And so we decided for our 100th show that we were just going to walk into a Walmart in the patio section and set up our equipment and do the 100th podcast live from the Walmart to see if anybody made us leave.
Were we in a tent or a gazebo or something?
It was a display. It was a display gazebo.
Yeah.
Not only did nobody kick us out, but the workers were coming over at the very end.
Eventually we
did. But that was because we got out the dinosaur. Like we started acting like jackasses.
I mean, we were really pushing it.
Am I making this up or did we hijack somebody's helper like work vest from Walmart and put the vest on a dinosaur?
We did.
I think that's probably what got us kicked out.
We sent him up to start bagging.
Right.
And I think that was when that kicked him off.
And that was my brother that was in that costume. So those dinosaur costumes are everywhere now. When I bought them in 2015 or 16, they came from Japan. They were $200 each.
Oh.
But nobody had ever seen anything like them. And I had seen them on this like Tokyo show.
Go figure, Japan.
And my God, if I didn't find them and order them. So when we started doing the dinosaur stuff, nobody had ever seen a costume like that. They didn't do inflatables and the way his head moved. So obviously we did the news station generation thing, which I think
Channel 2 saw a lot of them.
I think has been talked about like into the ground. I think everybody knows what we did with the dinosaurs, but then the dinosaur would just show up. So when we did our,
if you don't know,
it's
worth watching.
It is. When we did our 100th show at Walmart, we were like, well, what can we do now? And so we put a Walmart vest on the dinosaur and we're like, just go up to the checkout and just start bagging and see how long it takes somebody to ask you to leave. And it was a while.
It was. Yeah. I mean, we had to send them around, and I think, it was a while before somebody finally came up to us and was like, "You can't be here."
Did we find the code to the PA system?
Oh yeah, well, I knew it, but they changed it quite a bit.
Yeah,
I mean, but we did that a couple of times,
right?
And then what did we do with Meatloaf, the singer? Remember, didn't he like fall down on stage or something?
He had a heart attack on stage.
Okay, then.
But I don't remember if we did anything with
I don't think we did anything with
I remember the Hamburglar.
Oh my God, how do I forget the Hamburglar?
Yeah.
God.
I think the Hamburglar is where I fell in love with your daughter, Lucy, because she was so nice and innocent. And we pulled up to one McDonald's, and when you stole the hamburger, the lady working the drive-thru cussed, and Lucy was so offended.
Yes.
And looked across me into the window, and she's like, "You cannot cuss in front of children."
Yes. That's what
she was most concerned about.
Yeah.
So the Hamburglar stunt is still on YouTube. It's quite a ways back, but basically we dressed me like the Hamburglar one day, and we went to all these McDonald's drive-thrus, and Haas would be in his car, and I would be behind you in my car, or maybe Jimmy was driving.
My buddy Wes was behind us.
Your buddy Wes would drive me.
Yeah.
And then after you placed your order, I would get out and I would hide along the wall in my full ass Hamburglar costume and
cape and everything.
Yeah.
Cape and everything, and the mask. And right when they went to hand you the food, I would run through and grab it, and I had to do the because that was the only noise the Hamburglar ever made.
Yeah. I remember the first McDonald's guy was looking at me weird because I purposely made sure I had a wide enough alley between the window and the car so that you didn't go running and like hit my mirror and fall over. And he just gave me this look like, why are you 8 miles away from the window?
Do you remember how it got really hard for me to get the food because the workers kept pulling it back?
Yeah.
Like whenever I would get to them, like I was running too far, they would hear me coming and then they would.
Yeah. It was great though. I think there was 3 or 4 of them that we got it to work, and it was gold each time.
And then we went to Burger King.
Burger King don't care.
Burger King. I was able to.
Burger King is the Walmart of fast foods. They don't care.
Yeah, it is. And so, God, we were always up to no good on this show because basically my brain never matured past like a 7th grade boy, and neither did Haas's.
We haven't, by the way, discussed probably what got us the most press of all time.
Are we going to talk about the poop?
Oh, yeah. We sent, $300 worth of ram poop to Stan Kroenke's house?
Yeah.
And had it signed for?
Yeah, had it signed for by FedEx.
We got donations for that.
Yeah,
we did. We set up a GoFundMe. So basically,
Enrique and I poop you.
No, it was Guillermo.
Yeah.
So so back in 2000 and whatever
year the Rams left.
Yeah, Stan Kroenke was the owner of the St. Louis Rams. Took him out of the city to LA, and then started saying like a bunch of bad stuff about the city, and like the whole city was just in an uproar. And I'm always thinking like, how can I use this to my advantage? How can I make this about me? How can I,
Yeah.
And so I was like, we had just found out that you could send poop in the mail. It was a company called like I Poop You.
Yes.
And you could send a 1 pound thing of animal poop to somebody as a gag. It was like $19.99.
Yeah, you could even pick the kind of animal.
That's true.
You picked the animal.
Yeah.
So we called Guillermo live on the air and we're like, how much poop can we send in one sitting? And he's like, as much as you want. So
you got the money, I got the poop.
Yeah. So we set up a GoFundMe that ended up getting shut down. Remember, they shut down the GoFundMe because apparently you cannot raise money to send shit to people, whatever.
I mean,
thought this was America.
Spoil sports.
Yeah. And so but everybody who did the GoFundMe was like, tell me where to put my money.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, here's my PayPal. And then it was a FedEx delivery that had to be signed for, and it went to his front door in Colombia.
Yep.
Like signed by, and I mean, I'm not saying it was him that signed for it, but whoever signed for it, they still to say, Stan, what do you want us to do with this 30 pounds of shit on your porch?
Right.
Yeah.
The 2 things that I remember the most about that was, number 1, that we got press in England because he owns a Premier League soccer team and they hate him as much as people in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 2, that we followed up the poop by the first game the Rams played in LA was against the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills beat their monkey butts. And we sent them a funeral arrangement to Stan Kroenke's Malibu house that said, sorry for your loss.
No. It said, roses are red. Roses are red, violets are blue. Your football team sucks. That's what the card said.
Yes, that was right. That was right. And somebody from the recipients contacted 1-800-Flowers asking for the name of the sender. And we had to be like, we'd rather it just be anonymous at this time. We don't want them to feel like they have to reach out and send thank you cards.
Yeah. I had 1-800-Flowers calling me being like, your recipient really wants me to release your information. And I'm like, absolutely not. Because we had to tell the person that it was a joke, because 1-800-Flowers won't let you just write something mean on a card. Yeah. So we had to be like, oh, no, this is an inside joke that his football team sucks.
We know them. It's fine. Yeah.
We know them. We're friends. Yeah. We've sent them things before.
Yeah. So, aside from it, we don't always just do stupid stuff. We're always talking about things. What was that noise? What did I just say?
You don't always do stupid things?
I don't always do stupid things. No, I'm talking about on the show.
Okay.
Not in life. In life, yes. But as far as like the show, there will be plenty of shows where we just sit and talk about stuff. We talk about what is going on in the world, what is going on in our lives. One thing we almost never talk about is politics or anything serious, or any big like social issues. Like once in a while, we'll tackle one of those, but it's more of like a planned thing where we know that we're going to talk about it. Sure. And so this is kind of your place to come, and this is easy to digest media. This show is easy for you to digest. You can listen to it on your way home or on your way to work or whenever you want. And you're not going to hear anything that like shatters your world or like messes you up the whole day. It's just a bunch of dumb stuff. And like I said, once in a while, those things do come in and we do address them as best as we can. But 99% of the show is like,
just us having dumb conversations.
Yeah. Cow shit and hookers. I mean, it's just
welcome to my Saturday nights.
Whee!
Also, I want to say that both Hots and Stephanie, thank you for hard launching the show with me. I contacted you guys on Friday.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, do you want to do a show on Tuesday? And you guys were like, yeah, sure. And I'm like,
I think my response was, for real this time?
Yeah. So I had been.
Also, can we mention it's snowing today?
It is snowing.
And you know what my motto is, Kelly?
What?
If it's snowing, I'm not going.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're here.
That's why I asked the question yesterday.
I know. And I must really love you. So,
like, honestly, like, you're a pussy if you can't just drive in snow.
I mean, it's fine. I was more concerned because I don't know if I sent you guys the video or not. Last night by my house, it was snowing like a blizzard and like huge flakes. And I was like, all right, well, if this starts now and continues through tomorrow, I'm not making it, but it's fine.
Yeah. So back to the kind of the history of the show, we started in 2015 and we made it all the way to January of 2020.
Yeah.
And that's when things started getting scary.
Yep.
And it wasn't that COVID specifically shut down the show, but it stopped us from being together. I mean, we could have still done the show remotely, but there was nothing fun to talk about.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
The world was so angry, and it's taken me a long time to get back to this point because I've wanted to restart the show for years. I kept saying it, but I didn't have anything to say.
Right.
You know, I hate when people just open their mouth because they just talk to hear themselves talk. And I never wanted to do that.
Right.
And so when COVID came, it shut down, everything went longer. And then a lot of the people who are on here today probably follow me on TikTok. I didn't even have a TikTok when we had a podcast.
Was there even a TikTok?
Yeah, there was a TikTok. Yeah.
It existed.
Well, it was Musically, but I was just joining. I think I joined in January of 2020. So it's like while all of my TikTok is a lot of our podcast audience, we're going to get all of these new viewers from TikTok who, never knew about a podcast. They just see my silly videos. They don't know about you guys. And so, but they will learn to fall in love with you guys like I did. And,
I'm so sorry.
You know what? You said that we could have done this, remotely during COVID. I don't know if we could have done this remotely during COVID.
It just
there's something about us in the room together that makes this show work that I don't know if it would have done it over Zoom.
Yeah. And like I said, there was just nothing to talk about. The world was so angry that it didn't feel right, like joking about things or doing shows about shit and hookers whenever all the serious stuff was going on. Yep. And that was when I got to TikTok because I still needed a place to like sort of be creative, but in TikTok, I could hide behind characters or a music or something silly.
Yep.
And that 100% is why my TikTok shot up as fast as it did and as quick as it did, is because it was easy to digest content at a really scary time.
Yeah.
And so now, as we said today, I have 2.6 million on TikTok.
Oh, that's insane.
That's incredible.
And over 1 million combined on Instagram and Facebook. And so YouTube has been really the only platform that I have not attempted to work my way into. And that is why we're doing the podcast. For now, it's only going to be on YouTube.
Yep.
There will be other things to come and, stuff like that. But for now on, it's just going to be here. We haven't even planned the next show. We should probably do that to let people know. Like, I haven't done my imaging. I don't have a logo. I don't have anything.
This literally have nothing.
You have 1 million people between all your other socials besides TikTok?
Yeah.
I'm really excited that I just passed 1,000 people on Instagram.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, just wait. Because that's the other thing I need to talk to you guys about, though, is I talked to Stephanie, is that the craziest thing is that when we did this show, they couldn't even see us.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot
Remember we tried to do live phones with people not being able to see us? That was fun.
That was fun.
Great idea.
So
not good in practice.
No.
Yeah, so people can see us now, which is just insane, because we could like hide behind, whatever we had done that day or whatever.
I didn't even have to wear pants.
No, literally.
I did, but I didn't have to.
Thanks for actually wearing pants.
You're welcome.
Though.
Yeah. So now people can see us. What was I talking about right before then? It fell out of my brain.
Scheduling the show.
Yeah, we need to figure out. I mean, like Tuesdays work pretty well for me, but we got to talk to the studio here that we're using. Oh my God, you know what I just remembered? The Ambien show.
Oh yeah.
God.
Any average Becky?
Stephanie is instantly stressed out. So
was that the show where we clowned on female shot putters?
Yes, I had to come on.
Any average Becky.
I had to come on after the Ambien show with like an entire apology list, because Hoss and I thought, wouldn't it be funny? Neither one of us are prescribed Ambien.
Nope.
But people do crazy stuff on Ambien. So we're like, it was my idea. I'm like, how about Hoss and I take an Ambien and then fight the sleep for an hour and just do a show?
Yeah.
And I remember
this is what my face does when we talk about the Ambien show.
And I remember fighting the sleep. We played Connect 4.
Yeah.
It was like a SpongeBob Connect 4. And your mom came to sit in on the show because she was so worried
about me trying to drive home.
Well, you couldn't drive home, obviously. No. But, and then I just remember that night, like later that night, I went to bed and I think that like Jimmy took my phone and like put it somewhere else. And I went and found it. And I was looking at my phone and I was like, oh my God, these words are so wiggly. I wonder if they're wiggly for Hoss. And I just remember texting you and being like, are your words wiggly on the screen? And you're like, oh my God, yes, they're so wiggly.
Yeah. What's weird is like, I didn't get tired. I just felt drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is I think when you take it, if you take it and then go to sleep, it works exactly as designed. You're not supposed to be an asshole and fight the sleep and play Connect 4 and then do a radio show.
Hilarity ensues.
And so I said all sorts of inappropriate things about people and had to come back on and apologize.
I remember your uncle's amazing disclaimer. That was one of my
Kelly
and Hoss are dumb as hell.
Yes. Kelly and Hoss are dumb as hell. Do not do what they do. We like, and that's the thing with this show is that we're not PC at all. Like, like people are going to come on and trust me, if there's any logic that needs to be shared with us, Stephanie's already shared it.
Yeah.
So those of you at home who are like, oh my God, don't take Ambien that you're not prescribed to. And oh my God, don't hitchhike in an Easter Bunny costume. Like, don't, trust
don't
me.
put helium in blow-up dolls. And
I still want to do that.
No!
I want to do that. I want to get a bunch of blow-up dolls and fill them with helium.
And let them go all at once.
People think it's the rapture.
No.
Just have like piles of clothes on the ground underneath them.
Stephanie, I have an alternative to you worrying about the environment with this.
It's not just about the environment.
What are you worried about then?
Airplanes?
Okay, this is brilliant. We do it the same night as the Forest Park balloon glow.
Oh my God. No.
Because then they're already expecting shit in the sky.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can have like some of them like tethered by hands, look like they're holding hands going up.
Well,
husband and wives, the family is going to heaven.
Somebody help me.
I just want to see a bunch of naked blow-up dolls just go in the air at once. But so I actually tested this on TikTok and I bought a blow-up doll and the blow-up doll was too heavy for the helium.
Yeah,
really?
I don't know if that'll even work though.
I was in my backyard like throwing a naked lady up in the air. Like, why?
No dice. Damn.
And it wouldn't work. Yeah. Let's see. What other shows did we do? We did when I was the red Target ball.
Was that the same as episode 100?
That was the same as the Walmart show.
Yeah, but we We put you in one of those big
I still have
balloons.
I still have one of those balloons. So again, this is something I saw on some like Japan TV.
Sure.
Where they have these life-size balloons where you can get inside the balloon. And it was really tough because I would put like one leg in, and then we had a leaf blower like stuck down there.
Right,
and like my friend Samara and my other friend Kelly, like it was a whole team to like get me blown up because I was going to hop around Walmart. But then that one popped. So we went to the second one and we got blown up. And right when I got blown up in the Target ball was when we got kicked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we were like, well, I look like the red Target ball anyway, so let's just go to Target. Screw Walmart.
Didn't we pick you up and throw you in the back of a truck in the ball?
It was the only way to like move her because that was
safe.
the last one we had.
So
we couldn't pop it. So we had to physically pick her up, put her in the back of a pickup, and like hold on to her while we drove.
Totally safe.
Like a couple miles down the road.
Yeah.
To Target.
I was driving down Highway K in a giant inflatable ball. I had no arms or legs. Like I had nothing to defend myself.
Out of
just my head.
Balloon. Yeah.
And it looked like the little blueberry girl on Willy Wonka when she like swells up.
Yeah.
And then you guys had to get me out of the and this is all on my YouTube page. Like I don't know where, but you guys just have to look and go back. My YouTube is not organized at all. It's just been it's
in the episode 100 thing, I think.
Yeah, well, no, it is there, but then there's also like a clip of it somewhere. So yeah, like a lot of stuff like that, and a lot of just I don't know. There's no speed bump between like my brain and my mouth, and neither is there for Haas. And so if I think something's a fun idea, I'm going to do it because it sounds really fun, and I'm not really worried about like airplanes or logical things. And that's where Stephanie comes in, and she's so helpful on the show.
I know that there's a lot of other shows and guests that we're forgetting.
I know. I wish that I would have written it down, but like I just like I said, this is a hard launch. We have no prep today. We have nothing.
Thankfully, I think all of the rest of our shows are on iTunes.
They are.
Are they really still?
Wow.
Yes,
still on iTunes. So if you're craving, some nostalgia, you can go back and listen. To
one of the last shows we did was about turtle sex.
I remember that.
Yes, because I had an interesting tidbit about what a turtle penis looks like.
You did? Oh yeah. What was it? Was it spiky?
Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
It's pronged.
So then we started looking at videos of turtles having sex, and they make little turtle sex noises, and it's
they do. It's hysterical.
Check that out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Turtle sex is amazing. And so yeah, that's just kind of what our show is and what it's about. You're going to learn about our families. You're going to learn about our friends. Yep. All of that good stuff. I'm trying to think what else.
I mean, do we want to recap what we've all been up to for the last?
That's what I was
7
thinking.
Years or 3 years or whatever?
I was thinking that's kind of a lot, but yeah, I think we can do that. Let's start with Stephanie. Well, you can talk about Smelly Cat. Oh. That's a major thing.
Yes.
But so tell them about your husband and what you do and all that fun stuff.
Well, I am probably the least public person in the room. Mm-hmm. I'm married and I have no kids, and I don't know, somehow I made it to 42 and didn't punch out a bunch of kids.
Nope.
Nice.
Nope.
I know, amazing.
You can't even use the excuse I do, which is I don't have any kids that I know of. Because I would imagine you would know.
I would know.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah. But yeah, Kelly hit me up in 2001 and asked if I would foster a cat for a couple days. Yeah. And bada bing, bada boom, I'm vice president of Smelly Cat Rescue.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And her and our other friend Samara started a cat rescue. And, I somehow got dragged into that, and it's become my whole personality now.
It's funny how I can talk almost anyone into anything. Yeah. It's really hard to say no to me.
And the odd thing is, like, I knew she was doing that, so I had called her. I had 2 cats. And I just lost my last cat, like a month, I think, prior. And so she knew this. And, she had given me like a month or so to recover from that, and then she called me. She was like, hey, so I know this happened, but here's the thing. And she was like, I just need this guy, this cat to hang out like in your basement for like 2 days. Can you?
Was that Bubba?
Mm-hmm. She's like, can you just give me 2 days? And I like had to talk my husband into this, and because he was super skeptical, and I'm like, she just needs 2 days, and he's like,
sure.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. 2 days. I think I've had cats in my house ever since.
Ever since?
What I remember about you guys starting the rescue was that it wasn't just like, hey, we've got 3 cats that need homes. Every cat was like, this cat's blind and has no eyes. This cat has 3 tails and 1 leg.
That's not not entirely
This
true.
cat only walks backwards. Like every cat had some crazy ass thing with it.
That's not entirely true.
In the beginning, it was.
It kind of is. I mean, like
Kelly was the island of misfit toys for cats in the beginning.
yeah,
Kelly is amazing at like the medical cases. And
the major medicals.
Kelly, tell them the interesting story about like what 5 years ago when you had not even held a cat.
Yeah, no, I was never a cat person. Like I've always been a dog person. I never liked cats.
Yeah.
And then like I remember going to Stephanie's house being like, "Can I touch it?" Like what do I
Personal question to ask.
Yeah.
Touch someone's cat.
And then because Jimmy, my now ex-husband, that we're going to get to that, he had always said he was allergic to cats.
Yep.
And that's why he couldn't have a cat. And Libby Lou was like, 8 years old with these big blue eyes going, I really want a kitty cat. So I was like, hey, Jimmy, we're getting a cat. So
I mean, to be fair, if it has a pulse, Libby Lou wants it.
Pretty much. And so we adopted Crisscross and we went to the...
Why was it named Crisscross?
Because his eyes were crossed.
The defense rests.
So we got him from 5 Acres. It's like an amazing rescue. And I made Jimmy go and we got Crisscross out of the cage and rub him all over his face and then go home. Yeah. And he didn't break out.
Yeah.
It was great.
Because it turns out most people who are allergic to cats are only allergic to certain danders.
Yep.
And so,
I'm that way. But I know within 5 minutes if it's going to affect me or not.
Yeah. And so anyway, so Smelly Cat Rescue, you're going to hear us talk about probably quite a bit. We'll probably like plug it in our sign off or something once we figure that out.
Yeah.
Yep. .org.
SmellyCatRescue.org. And now I'm a cat person. Now my dogs drive me crazy. They drive me insane. I mean, I love them, but they're just so needy.
Oh yeah, dogs are needy, but that's what makes them awesome.
Anyway, that's like nearly my entire personality. I'm sorry, not sorry. But also I'm a programmer. I work full time. I'm a coder.
She's a computer nerd, you guys.
I'm a web developer. That's my day job.
Yeah.
Right
I'm also still a part-time photographer. I work, I shoot weddings still occasionally. Not like extensively. Like I don't have my own business anymore, but I still occasionally, shoot with some other photographers, doing weddings just sometimes.
I always forget that you're a coder.
Busy girl. Yeah, I know.
Is the coder side of you very excited about the 13-year-old kid who broke Tetris for the first time in 30 years?
That was super interesting to me because I saw the little video clip of it and the kid like lost his mind. And
okay, I have a question though, because I know nothing about video games. Is this the same Tetris that we played as kids?
Yeah.
What do you mean nobody's ever beaten it?
All right, I actually watched a video on this today because it kept popping up and I was like, all right, fine, I'll bite. The way Tetris worked
was like Donkey Kong.
Was every 10 levels, it would speed up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And at the time it was created, basic human reflexes would only allow you to get to like level 29. So everyone thought, okay, level 29, that's as far as you can get. Well, then nerds be nerding and found out ways to trick the system and be faster than just the normal holding your controllers. And it became a contest to see who could get higher and higher and higher. Then some guy created an AI program to play it because computers can think faster than people.
Right.
And got the game to break, which meant that it had gone through all of its code and it didn't know what to do anymore. So the game just froze.
Yeah. Ran out of code to run.
You beat the game.
Stopped working.
Tetris was designed for the game to always beat you.
Okay.
There was never going to be an end to the game because you couldn't work as fast as the computer was processing.
So there was no like end screen that's like, hey, you won.
You won. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So then how did the kid know he won? It just stopped going?
It stopped working. Like
the game locks up.
Yeah. The game locks up, stops working. The score goes 99999. Like it just froze.
It just seems crazy to me that game has been around so long and nobody's ever beat it.
First person to ever do it in, I think, 35 years of existence, and he's 13 years old.
13.
That's crazy.
And I want you to think about a 13-year-old who would be able to do that, and it's exactly who you think he looks like.
Yes. I saw him. We used to play, did you guys ever play sex Tetris with the naked people?
What?
No, but I want to play that immediately.
Wait, what?
There was a version of Tetris you could play on your computer, and it was naked people. And as they dropped down, you had to put them in different sexual positions.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And if they match.
Okay. This is ruining this for me because when I think of Tetris, my mom used to play Tetris. Okay. So this is really.
Does it have the same music?
Well, I don't know, but if you put him in the right position, it would go, oh, and then.
I have to find this game immediately.
And then those two naked people would disappear.
Just like real life.
Just like real life. That's another whole thing where we're going to talk about dating. Okay. All right. Enough about sex Tetris. Hoss, why don't you let everybody know how your life is going?
Since the last time we were on the air, I'm about a half person smaller than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I both got skinny. We skinny bitches
I mean,
now.
I'm not skinny, but I'm a lot less fat.
Yeah.
I lost my dad.
You lost your dad, who
about
was
a year ago.
Really fun part of not just the show, but our life. You know, his dad.
His social media.
Yes. Yeah. His dad. I mean, if you follow Hoss online, he's got endless stories about his dad that you can read on there, and they're just absolutely hilarious.
Dad was deaf, but didn't want to admit he was deaf and couldn't hear a damn thing, and hilarity would ensue.
Yes.
But outside from that, not a lot has changed in life. Aside from, I'm now doing mornings at KSHE, and I'm still not married, still no kids that I know of.
We love a consistent queen.
But thank you. But dating, I'm dating a couple different girls.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said that on a live microphone.
Probably not.
Well, as long as they know.
Probably shouldn't have said that on a live microphone.
Okay. Moving on.
Surprise, ladies. We'll have a talk later tonight, I'm sure.
As his phone starts lighting up.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's not much has changed. I moved out of my old house and I moved home with my mom and dad for a couple of years when dad was getting sick. 2 years ago, I bought another house. I moved literally 2 blocks down on the same street.
Your house is the bomb. Your house is just amazing. It's like what any like adult bachelor male would picture, like his dream house.
Yeah.
Imagine the movie Big with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And that's pretty much my house.
You have a pool and I love it.
Yes.
I've not been to your pool.
I'm going to have a big ass deck put on it once the thaw happens.
Be sure to trim the bush around your deck.
Always. It makes it look bigger.
Makes it look bigger.
Yeah. It's all about presentation of your deck.
We're already joking about sex. Oh my God, that took me a minute. I'm like, I didn't expect it from Stephanie. I was like, why would you trim your bush to make your deck look bigger? Okay, I get it.
And then I've got my outdoor theater gazebo, that's the bomb.
Yes. Yeah. No. It's amazing. So the three of us have stayed in complete contact this whole time. I mean, we've done trivia nights together and, group chats. And we've talked about bringing back the show a million times, but I didn't want to do a show when I didn't have anything to say. And recently, my friend Vic Faust, who has the Cancel This show, I've been hopping on there every other Friday. And this is his studio that we are renting. And honestly, just like coming on there every other Friday sort of reminded me, like, okay, you can do this. Like, you're good at this. You have stuff to say now. The world's a little bit different. And it sort of encouraged me to like just make the jump. And I knew that if I didn't just hard launch it, I wouldn't do it. If I sat around and went like, okay, well, I need a new logo and I need new imaging and I need to set up social media for this show and I need to do this. And it would just consume me. It would consume me. I would be very overwhelmed. And I am one of the most impulsive people you will ever meet in your entire life. And so when I decide to do something, it usually happens very quickly. I called you guys on Friday. I said, are you free Tuesday? And here we are.
Yep.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah. And so my life, if I assume most of you follow me on social media, so you figured this all out. But still the 3 kids, Rocky, Lucy, and Libby Lou. Rocky is 19 now. Ugh. Lucy is 16 and driving. And the baby of the family is going to turn 14 this week, which is just insane.
I love it.
It's just insane. So Jimmy and I separated back in April. It was a big secret. Nobody knew for a while. I think we told people in maybe like September. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like it shocked a lot of people, but not a lot of people. Like some of the closer people to us, I don't think we're super surprised, but we have had probably like one of the most amicable separations I could ever imagine. I mean, it's not like everything is roses and ribbons, but my God, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And so he lived with us up until just a couple weeks ago. He's got his own apartment now, and his apartment's about 2 minutes away. And our door is always open to him, so he can come and stay at the house anytime he wants if he takes the kids to like a late hockey practice, things like that, because I can't do it all by myself.
I mean, he was going to live with me for a little bit.
I thought that was a brilliant idea, and I don't know why he didn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't do it like that.
Made Krampus style for sure.
But
not at all.
His house is so big and Jimmy's gone so much.
So am I.
He travels for work. Yeah.
It made so much sense when he's like, I think I might move in with Hoss. And I don't know what happened or why that idea died or
we had one conversation and I was like, just hit me up when you're ready. And that was it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so like, I'm still with Jimmy every single day. He's my best friend. We're just not married anymore. Divorce is in the plans, but neither of us are in a big hurry because neither one of us are in like a serious relationship right now. I could see if I started dating someone and they're like, okay, you're not single yet. Then I'd be like, oh shit. Okay, that's right.
Never stopped me.
Yeah, we got to file. It never stops. I know that. I know that.
Oh boy.
Tails shaking, home breaking.
I have not broken up any homes.
Yowza.
Yeah, because the husband never found out.
Wow.
Well, that's a part of it, but
yeah. So anyway, I am single now. I am single. I spent all of 2023 kind of working on me. I went through a little bit of some like mental health stuff. I got some real bad like social anxiety. I think from just COVID, nobody leaving their house.
Sure.
And then the really weird thing was to get famous during COVID. When you don't leave the house, and then suddenly I left the house a year later and like the world is completely different and people know who I am. And I'm like, this is bizarre. And then
it was bizarre being out with you.
Yeah. I mean, it still is. Poor Alicia went with me the other night somewhere and it was just nonstop. And I love it. But then it took me a while to get used to because a lot of people will just come up and say hi, which I appreciate so much. Yeah. And I really appreciate it if they say, hey, you don't know me, but I follow your TikTok. Because if somebody comes up to me, I'm like, oh God, I'm supposed to know them. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? And then I get a lot of staring, because I think that people see my face and they're like, oh my God, I know her. How do I know her?
I know her. Yeah.
And then it takes them a minute and they're like, oh my God, that's the girl that's on social media and does all the Gen X stuff. And then a lot of times they won't come up to me. Let's do it. But it's just like a lot of staring. And then it is a lot of people messaging me saying where they had seen me that day. And that's what sort of started weirding me out was just but it happens every day. And I know that people don't mean to be weird about it.
It's creepy.
They're like, hey, I saw you at Brewski's tonight. I was too shy to say hi. I saw you at Kmart today. Kmart's not even around anymore.
All right. Fun fact, though, it's 2024, and I have an easier time believing that someone saw you at a Kmart than a Brewski's.
True. Well, that's because I did leave the house the other night. I'm working on that. So with the fact that when I go out in public, the people don't know what to do because it's not like I'm an actual famous person where people are freaking out and want to get to me.
Yeah. It's
just everyone's looking at me and you can see it registering in their brains.
Yep.
And then deciding if they're going to come over and talk to me or not, which I never care if they do. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But then I get a lot of the one thing that does creep me out is the pictures. People will send me pictures of me earlier that day.
That's weird.
And
I get that.
They're like, hey, I saw you at blah, blah, blah. And it's
Here's
this
photo.
Yeah.
Just come say hi.
Yeah,
right.
say hi.
Right.
Don't make it weird. Just say hi.
Don't make it weird. So I had to get used to that and it was so much easier just to stay home and hide. Because when I would go out in public, I would just get all of this anxiety and I was like, I didn't know how to act and I wouldn't go anywhere by myself. And so I really worked through a lot of that. I pretty much did not leave the house from, I would say, April or May to till January, to late January. Unless I had to. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to take my kid to hockey practice, but I didn't leave the house once for anything voluntarily. It was just too much for me.
I mean, you probably don't anymore need to go to the grocery store thanks to, DoorDash and all these.
Right?
Now all of these grocery stores deliver. So
yeah, but I'm kind of cheap and I don't like that. The grocery stores I'll do, but
I've never done that.
Oh,
really?
Never.
Oh man, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
I know everybody says that I've got my groceries delivered. I'm like, I've never in my life. I can't bring myself to pay for that.
They go right in your garage. It's
if you want them to, or they'll just leave them on your front door.
They'll put them anywhere.
No, man. That's what I got a husband for.
Exactly.
See, I don't have that luxury. And even if I did, I'd be the husband.
Exactly.
So guess who's going out to get him?
I mean, you get a husband.
Exactly.
It's
but
a good thing.
I mean, honestly, I am woman, hear me roar. I can do everything in my house. I take out the trash. I mow the lawn. There's nothing that a man can do that I cannot do. And you guys will learn that I'll talk about that quite a bit on here. That's important to me. I'm raising.
Here come the texts.
Oh, from the girls?
I told you.
I'm raising 2 daughters. It's always been really, really, really important to me to raise strong girls that grow up in a world and know that they're equal to men, even though the rest of the world doesn't treat you that way. So we'll talk a lot about that stuff.
I love that your daughters play hockey.
They both play hockey. Yep.
Yeah.
So
they're good too.
They're badasses. They really are. And so my oldest one, Lucy, plays for the JV team at her school. And she's at the age where she's a sophomore right now. So it's the boys on the team with her, they're clearly bigger. They're clearly faster. They're clearly stronger.
Yeah.
That's not a question. But I mean, her coach said she's one of the smartest players I have on the ice. And
counts.
And that counts. And the other thing about Lucy is that she may not be as good as the boys, but she tries 110% every single game.
Yeah.
Like nobody can ever look out because talent doesn't always work hard. We have some of our best kids show up and lay a big turd on the ice.
Yep.
So even at her level of talent, she's given it all she has every single game. And because of that, the boys have really like been nice to her and accepted her. And it's been a lot of fun. And she's honestly having the best year of hockey she's ever had.
That's awesome.
And
I've said it a million times and I'll say it now on air. I will knock out the first boy that breaks that girl's heart.
right?
Yeah.
I know.
Straight up knock them out.
But
Oh, boy.
you don't have to worry about it because she's going to make some poor dude miserable one day. It's going to be awesome. So she
Miserable?
She can take care of herself.
Are you
she
kidding me?
like, can you imagine if somebody like cheated on Lucy? She would burn down their house. Like,
Oh, that's the you side of her.
right? Yeah.
But like, and I mean this in the most non-creepy way possible.
Yeah.
If I was a 16-year-old boy,
Yeah.
Lucy Mano is my dream girl.
Yeah.
She's homecoming queen pretty. She likes
was the
80s
homecoming
rock.
queen. Yep.
She plays sports. Like
Mm-hmm.
if 16-year-old me
Yeah.
could have like done the weird science, build the perfect woman,
Yeah.
it's Lucy Mano.
And what's funny is that she doesn't have like a lot of boyfriends. Like she is
Because they're intimidated
Yeah,
by
so I
her.
say it's probably intimidating.
well, a lot of it also is that she is so much more mature
Yeah.
than the boys her age. And that's normal. It is normal for girls to mature quicker.
Yeah.
But for her,
You don't say.
but for her, it's like the boys, they're all like loud and they're floppy hair and they're
Right.
skinny legs and they're rude. They're really, really mean. They're really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
mean.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Even to the nicest, even to her, who's like the nicest kid ever. But so she also sees all of her friends get their hearts broken a lot of times.
Yeah.
So again, I told her, I'm like, honey, you're not going to peak in high school. And that's the best thing that could ever happen to you.
Oh,
Damn right.
You
Damn
know?
right. Or she's going to be like the girls when I went to high school. There was that level of like, there were the girls that everyone in high school dated,
Mhm.
but there was that small group of girls who were like, I'm not effing around with you dumbasses. I'm dating college boys.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's what's going to happen with Lucy as she gets a little bit older, because
Yeah.
again, she's just more mature
Yeah.
than most kids her age. And so, yeah. And then my baby's going to be 14. It's just insane. I can't believe, Stephanie, I've known you 16 years.
More than that. I mean,
That is insane.
Yeah.
My God. And then Hoss,
Yeah.
I said, what did I say? 20 years? Wait,
longer than that.
Well, 97. So what?
what year is it now?
27 years?
My God.
Yeah.
We're kind of old.
I'll see.
Kinda.
Do you still have the picture? I know I made you a copy of it of you and I back to back when we were interns.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page
Yeah,
because that
it's on
Facebook
social
page
media.
was originally our podcast page.
Oh, that's right.
And so,
Yeah.
and then I changed it over to my like TikTok-ish my content Facebook basically is what I did. And so that's what it is now. And
I need to make one of those.
well, so here's what we need to decide, because now that we're doing things this way, and now that not this way, but now that I have all this social media success, as I put out content from this show, I need to know whether or not you guys want me to tag you, or if you guys want to make your own. Because here's the thing: if I tag you, you are going to get thousands of strangers wanting to follow
That's
you.
Fine. I'm
Okay,
I'm already kind of experiencing it from the KSHE side of things.
sure.
I've missed that wave. If I was going to make a content page, I should have done it 6 months ago.
Okay, so you're good with just me tagging you, whatever. You feel safe. You're not worried about stalkers. You're not worried about Stephanie. What about you?
Yeah, I don't really care. People are going to be disappointed if they follow me. I'm so sorry, everybody, because I'm boring as hell.
That's okay.
I am so boring.
Boring.
You're really not that boring. You're a
No.
very interesting person.
I agree.
I'm social media boring. I don't
Okay,
post a lot,
that's
and when
fair.
I do, it's about cats. So
Yeah.
All of that.
if you love cats, feel free, follow me. But like that's what I post.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, the only thing you're going to get from my page is you're going to learn a lot about the St. Louis Blues and the Buffalo Bills. That's
Yeah.
really about
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
talk a
it. And
lot
Guns
about
N' Roses.
And your toenail polish.
That's true.
Yep. Yep.
Which, by the way, I should ask you girls what you should do next, because there's still sparkly candy canes from Christmas.
from Christmas.
Oh,
So-
Valentine's Day coming up.
Well,
so.
But that's in like a month, and then they're outdated again. So the three options that we've discussed are pink for Valentine's Day,
Yep.
or something Mardi Gras, or something
Oh.
St. Patrick's Day.
Do Mardi Gras.
Mardi
I'm
Gras.
leaning Mardi Gras just because of all the different colors.
Well, Mardi Gras, you can do purple because purple goes for Mardi Gras and stands for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
We'll carry over to Easter if you want to go that long too.
All right.
So
and then golden.
You get pedicures. Is it your mom that you go with?
I go with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I go with one of my very good friends' wives, she's one of my very good friends too. And then when I'm dating someone, they usually come along. And then Lux, who used to be at the Point, has started coming along.
And then at some point you started saying, you know what, just finish me off.
No, it was my friend Christy made the comment. She's like, well, why don't you just get your toes painted? And I go, I'm not going to pay the extra for that. And she was like, oh, sweetie.
It's free.
It's included.
It's included.
And I was like, do you guys really want me to get matching toes? And all the girls were like, it'll be so fun. And I was like, all right, whatever. I don't care. So I was like, you guys pick them and I'll match because your toes get seen more than mine. Yeah. I will say, however, during the summer when I wear a lot of sliders, it gets girls' attention. And I've gotten more than a few numbers from having painted toes.
Heck yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do we want to pull out our calendars and see if we can do this next week?
I mean, sure. I have no life. Come on.
I got to talk to Joe.
I'm off next Monday.
You're off next Monday?
What is it, MLK Day?
It's MLK Day, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about we figure it out off the air?
All right.
And then, but I'll let you guys know, like, pretty much ASAP. We're going to try to typically we do this show once a week. I wouldn't be surprised if we crank out a little more in the beginning just because there's so much to catch up on. I've got so many ideas, so many creative juices flowing. I just got to figure out how to balance this and still do my social media posting and all that good stuff. But for now, we are going to be here at least once a week. Hopefully it will almost always be Hoss and Stephanie, but they have lives and they have to hop in and out. So I'll have other people fill in or we'll always figure it out. And then we will eventually get on a schedule where we are live at the same time every week. And it'll be easy to follow, but that it's just not there yet because we hard launched this shit,
that's how we
It's the way to do it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah. Let's go.
That's what we did. So I mean, we appreciate you guys. I don't want to go much over an hour, and that's what we're getting close to. Sometime between now and next week, maybe I'll set up some kind of social media or email for us because, the last show we would always give my email out, but now like it's too many people.
Do you still use that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
But I need to change it. We need to set up a show email that maybe like Stephanie is in charge of.
All right.
Oh, gosh. Do you want that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because then you can just, because you know me, I don't even check the emails I have.
I know.
So if we set up another one.
Like we used to always say, if you have complaints, email us.
Yeah, that was like whenever we say something controversial, like email your complaints to.
Oh yeah, that's right. We'd be like, if we just pissed you off, here's how you can tell us you hate us. Because just fair warning, we don't give a shit.
Nope.
If there were
what did I say the other day that you were like, that's why we're friends?
I don't know, but I always say, like, if I ever die, if I get hit by a bus on the way home tonight, the first thing I need somebody to do is go in my phone and delete every message I have with Hoss. Instantly, just immediately.
Can I screenshot it first?
Of course. Send it to yourself, do whatever, but it's not for public consumption because we if there were ever two people who didn't give a shit more what anyone thinks of them, it's the two of us. Yeah. And it's a dangerous combination, which is why, like...
That's why we get along.
It's also why we almost got a fist fight at that trivia night.
Oh, yeah. I was defending my lady's honor. Come at me, bro.
We walked out of that place like Vince McMahon. Like,
oh, my God.
To be fair, like, she gave me the heads up on the way there. And I was like, all right. And then when we got there, she was like, that's the dude.
Yeah.
And then that dude started to do stuff.
Yeah.
And
he deserved it.
The guy, what's funny is the guy who was organizing the event was a fraternity brother of mine from college.
Oh.
And I gave him the heads up. I was like, hey, man, I don't want to start crap in the middle of your trivia night, but it's about to go down with homie.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So,
and they had to like walk people between us walking out of the school to our cars.
Yeah. It was like
I was going to pick up a chair and knock the dude out.
Oh. It was like a group of people like formed around like a junior high fight. I mean, it was amazing, but it was well deserved.
Hoss, you were 7 feet tall. Who's going to start shit with you?
Well, so the guy started shit with me.
Yeah. And then I wasn't having it.
Even though I wasn't scared of him, I'll fight a dude. But then I was like, well, I got Hoss right here, so I'm just going to use him instead.
I looked at his friend and I said, I'm going to pick you up and beat him with you.
He did. He said, I'm going to pick you up and beat him with you.
That tracks.
Yeah, no. And then I just remember walking out there be like, well, don't think we're going to get hired again.
No, that might be a one and done.
You got paid first, right?
Yeah, well, I think we volunteered for that one.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
So, that's fine.
But yeah, they never asked us back. I can't imagine.
Yeah, you can see like as you're walking out there going,
Yeah.
Cross me off.
Hoss and I both like I guess what Jimmy has learned from having been married to me for 20 plus years is that I don't have a temper and I don't have any like blind rage, but once I decide I'm going to do something, it's a beeline and nobody can talk me out of it. And that's kind of how you are too.
Yep.
It's not a temper, it's not blind rage, but if I got something to say or something to do, like you cannot stand in my way, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how much you try to. I'm still going to get in the Easter Bunny costume and hitchhike to the mall.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to, do all Christmas caroling. We forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much we can talk about.
Fart spray.
The fart spray. God, oh my God. The Easter Bunny thing was good. We decided that I would dress up in a full Easter Bunny costume and go hitchhike down Mid Rivers Mall Drive and tell people that I was the mall Easter Bunny and my car broke down and I needed a ride. And
that was great. We finally got someone to do it.
Yeah, we got somebody to let us in the car and like we would take bets on how long it was going to take. So yeah, we just do a lot of nonsense. That's all. I mean, I could talk forever about this. You can go on the YouTube and see all the old stuff.
Please do.
You know, speaking of terrible decisions and times you've almost gotten into a fight, I think the most recent one was, and I think you were the one who had to talk me into putting the knife down. I was going to shank someone at your trivia night because they outbid me by $1. It was a giant basket of pumpkin spice stuff.
It was.
Oh my God.
I did. I talked her out of it. She was drunk as hell too. And so
I had a knife
I remember
in my
you
hands.
had a knife and I was like, what are you doing with that knife? And you're like, this bitch outbid me on pumpkin spice.
By $1. I didn't even know what it was she was bidding on. I was like you're going to learn tonight.
She was $5 over and she was drunk as hell. And then she had bid on something else. And then she didn't have enough money in cash or something to cover it. And then I was like, listen, if you want to abandon this other basket, and I talked her out of it. And she was like, okay.
She's the sensible one.
Somebody came up to me. She's like, Hoss, please put the knife down.
Yeah.
And I was like, that bitch going to give me my basket one way or another.
Well, I was like, I got your basket. Don't worry. And he was like, you did? I was like, I got it for you. She's drunk and she's going to give it to you. You can have it for your price. And he was like, okay.
Yeah, Hoss is like he is a 7 foot tall. He is a basic white woman trapped in a 7 foot tall man's body, and I am like a big loud dude trapped in like a 5 foot tall girl's body, and so it's a good balance. And God, we could just
Thank
talk.
Goodness you guys met.
Right?
I don't know if you were on the text I sent her like 6 months ago when I had just gotten my toes painted. I forget what color they were, and I sent her a picture. She's like, "Are you wearing pink Victoria's Secret pink sweatpants?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, I think Lucy has those same pants. She's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, they fit, they're comfortable, and they were cheap. Leave me alone.
Whatever. Like, honestly, Hoss is the biggest basic white girl you'll ever meet in your life.
Yes.
So,
I mean, his favorite day of the year is Pumpkin Spice Day.
Hell yes.
All right. I took away his man card a long time ago.
I'm all right with it.
A long time ago. It's in my pocket with your balls.
I am very secure in my manliness. I don't care. Paint my toes and I'll wear Victoria's Secret sweatpants. It's fine.
It's part of why we love him.
Yep. So I was asking Stephanie, we had a sign off. I don't remember what it was. Like I would say, I think I said that either be good, have fun, or I did the sassy, classy, smart assy thing, and then you would jump in and say something stupid and inappropriate.
Yeah, she would say, Hoss, anything for the guys? And you would come up with something.
Yes, I think it was the be good one that you would sign off with. And then I'd always think of something dumb for the dudes.
I need a new one. We're going to change stuff up.
We got to find something.
Eventually, this show is going to have imaging, and it's going to have an intro and an outro, and it's going to have all kinds of fancy shit. But it's not.
If we get around to
it. We'll get around to that. Thank you guys, everybody who joined us today. Thank you, Pro Joe and Vic, for letting me use the studio.
Yeah, Tracy, go Bills.
It is beautiful, and it is so pink in here, and God, my face is very big up there.
I don't need any incentive to wear pink. I went to a Barbie party last Saturday. It was everything I had on.
I saw that outfit. It was so great.
Yep.
All right. So later tonight, I will post something on Instagram and I will tag you guys. So some of our listeners want to start following you. They can.
Yeah.
I mean, at your own risk, I guess.
Again, Stephanie said she's social media boring, and that's fine.
Feel free, but like I said.
Yep. So we love you guys. We love you for listening. We love you for coming back after 3 years, 1,074 days.
Whee!
And I love Hoss and Stephanie for understanding that I just needed to do this like hard launch. Otherwise it wasn't going to happen.
Could I plug my radio show? Because
of course.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. 6 to 10 a.m. on KSHE. Listen, even if you don't like classic rock, listen, because I'll try to make you laugh.
And you guys podcast it when you're done?
We're going to start.
Okay.
We haven't done it yet, but it's one of the things that we're going to start doing in 24 is building a podcast that you can listen to if you can't listen live. And also so that, when snowpocalypse happens, we can just run stubs. clubs and things like that.
Yeah, I always only hear the 9 o'clock hour because I'm not a morning person. But usually, if I'm up at 9 and I'm in my car, I always turn it on and listen to you guys. They call you Chris, which freaks me out.
You know what? We talked about that if they wanted me to use Hoss again. And I was like, it's been 20 years since I was on the air at the point. Let the name live over there and I'll just be me.
Sure. But we can still call you Hoss,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
I can't. There's no other name. It doesn't make any sense. So, all right, we are going to sign off. Projo, you can cut us off. And for anyone asking, like these early shows are only going to be on YouTube. They're not going to be on. They're not even going to be on Apple Podcasts. Nothing. We're just going through YouTube these first couple weeks until we figure out what the hell we're doing. So if you want to watch the next show, follow my YouTube, and we're going to be back hopefully next week.
Yay!
Fingers crossed. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.